Okay, this is a piece that I produced almost 50 years ago. In '73. I did this in November. I had been working on fictional reality and details of a fictional reality. In a sense, if you see a picture of Superman, I'm interested in I'm not so much interested in Superman, but I'm interested in the air that Superman is flying through. I'm interested in the pictured reality. And I took a woman and I made a list of all the elements of her life from birth to death. I made it a woman to separate myself from her. So it's obviously not me. The first time I read it was in my class, because I was still in school. And after I read it, it was so me. I wanted it to be someone not me, but it was so me. And I've been reading it since. About once or twice a year I read it. And the last time I read it was at MoMA, Museum of Modern Art. And but I read it, and I will read it until I die. So whenever that is. And so we have a translation, which has never happened. I've never done this. So this is just to help you all along. And okay. And no one should go up the stairs, because that's going to be a distraction. And this woman is not a character in the comic. This woman is an autonomous person. There are some pictures of comics, details of comics. There's just a woman standing there. She's just barely, she's not even in the story. And this is her life. Her birth, her family, her house, home, learning to crawl, the heat from the kitchen stove, learning to walk, hearing her mother upstairs, the street noises coming in the window, learning to talk, the rug on the living room floor, the trees growing in the backyard, learning to use her hands, feeling hungry after her nap. The sunlight hurts her eyes. Her 4th birthday. The salt on the dining room table. Smelling the fresh autumn air. Bleeding after skinning her knee. Entering school. The pillow on her parents' bed. Making friends. Traveling to the mountains. Crying when feeling lost. The people living down the street. Learning to read words. The dining room table. The sky was a light shade of blue. Learning arithmetic. Her best friend's brother. Feeling hungry after skipping lunch. Learning to ride a bike. The full moon lights up the night sky. Learning about gravity in school. The light in the hallway. Catching her breath after running home. Entering the 6th grade, becoming older. Their pet dog. The door between her and her older sister's room. Having to go to the bathroom. Noticing that the tree in the backyard is changing color. Feeling the glare of the sun on her eyes. They got 2 inches of rain that week. Playing handball at school. The street light. Feeling proud of her schoolwork. Looking at herself in the mirror. Entering the 7th grade. Playing in the backyard. The food cans in the kitchen cabinet. Going to the school dance, doing her homework, tasting that there's too much salt in the salad, thinking about going steady, experiencing puberty, scaring the dog by slamming the door. There were so many stars she couldn't count them all, looking out of her bedroom window, finding new friends in school. As the years progressed, the days got shorter. Visiting her aunt's house, getting a boyfriend and going steady, brushing her teeth, her dog dies, getting an electric shock, riding the bus to school, entering the drama club, her boyfriend's little sister, going to camp over the summer, the sound of the record player in the living room. The air felt thick that morning. Becoming sick, not going to school. Making out. Hearing her parents argue. Getting a younger sister thinking to herself. Getting scared. Going to parties often. Entering high school. Hearing static while talking on the phone. Taking care of her little sister. After gym, she was very tired. Burning herself while cooking. The telephone ringing in the hallway. Spending the summer at a beach hotel. The ocean seemed endless. A large man passing her on the sidewalk. Thinking about the people she has yet to meet. Learning to drive a car. Remembering the time she hurt herself skiing. Touching her right eye with her index finger. Family moves to a new neighborhood. The sound of an airplane flying overhead. Taking a bath. Becoming interested in history. Fantasizing about marriage. The dining room table set for eating. Going to the movies. Hugging her father. Entering college. Moving away from home. Her roommate. Falling asleep while studying. Her roommate's hometown. The amount of time it takes to walk to school. Majoring in history in college. Getting a boyfriend. The sound of the record player in the next room. Staying up, watching the sunrise from her rooftop. Cutting her hair. Studying the history of her country. Getting married in the afternoon. Their front door. Quitting school. Moving to a new house. Her husband's family. The manhole in the street. Thinking of her in-laws. Her husband's work. Boiling water while cooking. Getting a job for herself. Looking at herself in the mirror. Receiving a letter from her parents. Having her wisdom teeth removed. Watching the light refract through the kitchen window. Eating lunch. The pencil on her desk at work. Knowing she is going to have a baby. Thinking of her parents. Her baby is born. Moving to a larger house. There's lots of green around the new house. Her husband's mouth. Stubbing her toe while running. Her son's baby shoes. February 26th. Feeling thirsty one hot afternoon. Her husband's boss. Another birthday, she is getting older. Getting her hands wet. Thinking about her son's life. Making love with her husband. Smelling the fresh autumn air. Thinking of her childhood. The telephone wires. Her son's learning to walk. The people living next door. Trying to find her glasses. The covers on their bed. Having another baby, a girl. Not eating very much. She only had an hour to get home. Her son's schoolwork, visiting her husband's sister, the noise from a large truck, her daughter's 4th birthday, looking at herself in the mirror, her 34th birthday, sensing that her son is in danger, renewing an interest in history, her daughter's left hand, taking a shower, dreaming that she spoke a foreign language, thinking of her husband's childhood, an object in the back seat of their car, the floor she stands on. October 5th, her husband shaved regularly, traveling to a large city. Her son's graduation, taking a photograph, reading a book in the study, her husband's current income, dropping a dish, watching it break, kissing her husband. The days seem to be going by faster. Having trouble breathing, the new living room furniture, the sidewalk around the corner, touching the wall. Her father dies, sudden grief. The backyard flooded during a heavy rain. Looking at herself in the mirror, her son's marriage, brushing her teeth, starting a garden, her daughter's graduation, the broken glass in the basement door, swimming, an itch in the lower part of her back, her daughter's school in a foreign country, spending half the year at the ocean, looking at a photograph of herself as a child, being scared to enter a dark room, having a grandchild, feeling older, remembering school days, a glass of water. They have retired, their son's independence, touching herself, cooking a quote-unquote hearty meal, forgetting her age, their house, going for a trip around the world, hair turning white, her daughter's marriage, working at her desk, wondering where that person lives, being visited by her daughter-in-law's parents, noticing that the sky is a light shade of blue, the red car down the block, catching her breath, watching TV, taking a nap in the hot sun. Her husband dies, moving, thinking about her eventual death, scaring the dog by slamming the door. A family reunion during Christmas, going for a walk in the garden, feeling old, not caring, looking at her feet, not being able to see clearly, bleeding after skinning her knee, thinking of the faces of her parents, cooking vegetables, the door between her and her older sister's room, looking at her eyes in the mirror, the floor she stands on, thinking of her husband, looking at herself in the mirror, thinking of her death,